Hello, and welcome to Shine On, Sista, where you learn to shine your light in life, business, and beyond. Happy 2019, we made it. So I have been on vacation pretty much since December 21st. We went on a cruise, it was 7 days, and it was over Christmas. I've never been away for Christmas before. Then we got home and we were so unplugged that we just kind of stayed unplugged, did some cool exercises for New Year's Eve, which I will talk to you about in this video. So then there's Christmas, there's New Year's, and then there's my birthday. And so I have been in vacay mode hard, but I am super excited to be talking to you today and creating this for you, because what I want to talk about today is how dreams really do come true and how you can really call in what you want this year. So I'm Jennifer, your life coach, business strategist, and queen waymaker for world changers just like you. And I got to tell you, I've gotten such great news from my clients on what they've done over the past year. I had a student that went through my course who just quit her job, and after 6 months of taking the leap and opening her brick and mortar store, she's now able to do that full time. I have another client who also was able to quit her job after just 3 months of starting coaching with me, and she was able to buy an RV, winter in Mexico with her hubby and dog, and now she's able to do that, or she's going to be doing that year after year after year. I also had another client report to me that she hit that 6-figure mark and she is going strong. It wasn't just like a one-hit wonder. She's definitely hit her stride. 6 figures. I remember when she started with me, that was her goal and she's achieved it. Dreams do come true. I have 2 other clients that wanted to increase their visibility and both got TV mentions and TV spots. So one has a regular occurring spot on 2 different stations, and another woman just started her business, launched her first workshop, and then was featured on television. So I say all these things to encourage you, to let you know that dreams do come true. All of these women that created these changes and this magic in their lives 3 months and 6 months prior didn't even know how it was possible. They just knew they had a desire in their heart, and I believe that you do too. So I'm not going to leave you hanging, and I'm not just going to leave you with some after stories. I'm going to talk to you in your before, so that in 3 months and 6 months from now, hopefully you also will be realizing some dreams that right now are just an idea. So today I'm going to share with you the 4 steps you need to start making your dreams come true in 2019. Okay, so step number 1 is that you want to celebrate what went well over the past year. Now, I don't know if you feel like 2018 was kind to you. I know many people did not feel that way. Or maybe you felt great about it, and now's a great time to reflect on that. No matter how you feel, what you want to do is look over the year. You don't have to worry if you miss anything or anything like that, but our brains are natural problem solvers. And so what we tend to do when we're starting to think about the new and bigger dream and vision into the new year, we start thinking of problems and thinking about, what didn't go well, or we'll start thinking about what we can't do and why we can't. But if you can get in a place of celebrating and reviewing what already went well, you're going to be in a really good place energetically to do the next steps that I'm going to cover. But let's not skip ahead. So first, I just want you to review the year and think about, what can you celebrate? What went well? What did you do well? And it could be something really practical, like the things I shared about my clients of hitting 6 figures and quitting your job. But it could also be something like you stood up for yourself, or you really started diving into your self-care. It could be anything at all, whatever you consider a celebration. I tend to work with and coach really driven, ambitious women, and maybe that's you listening in. And what's cool about you is that you can set a goal and achieve it, and you're really good at that. But what happens is you set a goal, you achieve it, and then you just move on. You're moving on to the next thing before you celebrate how freaking cool you are that you're able to move through the world that way. So take this time, just think. You can think over the year, you can go month by month. I like to look at my calendar, my planner, because then you pick up clues like, oh my gosh, that's right, I totally hosted a workshop that weekend, and oh my goodness, I went to that conference, or I was asked to speak at the conference. Just review your year. Again, you don't have to get a gold star, an A+ and make it a really stringent exercise. Just review your year, write down some things, or maybe you can share it with a friend, but put it out there in some way to really celebrate your wins. I have my clients, my private clients, when we get on a phone call, of course, we're working on strategy and we're working on their goals. But the first thing I have them do is celebrate their wins, because I want them getting into the habit of not only looking for problem solving throughout their week, but I also want them to look at wins and to look at what did they do well. So I encourage you to create that habit in your life as well. Also, in my client only Facebook group, we also celebrate wins weekly again. So you get in the habit of bragging a little bit, sharing what you did well, but also just really getting in that habit of going through your day and going through your life and thinking about what is actually going well? What am I doing right? How am I winning in this moment right now? So I really encourage you to start looking at that as you go throughout your weeks this year. So bonus points if you're able to make that a weekly habit for yourself going throughout the year. Okay, so step number 2, now that you've celebrated your wins and you're going to get in the habit of continuing to do that, now you want to clear the clutter. Now you're going to be looking at things with a more critical eye. And when I say clear the clutter, of course, you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, yes, I totally have been meaning to clean that closet in the hallway for a long time. And yes, your environment, the physical realm is definitely you want to declutter. So cleaning out under your bed, shifting things around, saging corners, of the room. My husband and I flipped the sides of the closet that we use. So I used to be on the right and he was on the left, and now we've flipped sides. We also flipped the couch behind me, and we put the couch that used to be here in the other room. We just kind of switched some things up. So it's good to stir up that energy. Definitely clear the clutter. I mean, bags and bags, where does all the stuff come from? Look at things through a critical eye. What's serving you? What is getting you to that next level? So maybe it was cool for you last year, but is it going to be taking you where you want to go in the new year? Clutter creates chaos, it creates confusion, and it takes up energy. So really go through, yes, your physical environment with a critical eye and declutter, I would say ruthlessly. But also you can declutter in so many different areas. So what about your relationships? Are you in relationships that fill you up, or are you in relationships that drain you? Really think about that. Since we're in this totally connected age, I also consider relationships people who you follow or people who you consume, listening to a podcast, watching videos. Who are you in a relationship that way, right? Who are you consuming? Because you also want to make sure that if you're getting distracted, or if you're getting that comparisonitis, that's something you want to look for as well, because again, it's a drain on your energy, it's a drain on your positivity, and you just don't want that going into this new year. So definitely declutter relationships. And of course, if you're in relationships that drain your energy, that don't fill you up, that don't make you feel good, now's the time to create a distance so that you're able to call in what you really want this year. Other things that you can declutter are thought patterns. What thought patterns have you developed that aren't serving you right now? Or even habits, maybe you've picked up a habit, maybe you're biting your nails, or maybe you're sleeping through your gym alarm, or whatever it is. What habits were you kind of picking up at the end of the year that aren't serving you? And when you really start calling in that highest version of yourself, it's a habit that you want to let go and declutter moving forward. Those are the kinds of things you want to look for in this step when you declutter your environment, your thoughts, your habits, your relationships, and anything else that maybe served you at one point, but it's no longer serving you moving forward. Okay, so step number 3, and now we're getting to the fun part. I should put on my party hat. I wonder if you can see this. This is what New Year's is really all about. Okay, so now we're getting to the fun part. I had to put on my party hat for this, because this is what New Year's is really all about. Now that you have celebrated your win, so you're in a good spot of celebrating yourself, you've decluttered and cleared the mess. Now it's time to call in what you really want. Now you're going to get clear on your vision for 2019. So my only rule for this is to think about, if you had a magic wand, what would you want? And you can't worry about the how. You're only thinking about, what do you want to call in this year? What do you want to experience? What, if you had a magic wand, would you do, be, or have? Now, this might be something that you do part of your daily, your daily morning practice, but maybe this is something you've never considered before, or maybe you only do it once a year. But this is a great time to really think about, if you had a magic wand, what would you do, be, and have? What does that look like? I can tell you, my husband and I spent a good part of New Year's Eve doing this, which of course I was in heaven because I love stuff like this. And it was just so encouraging. It was so fun. And it really has set my mind in a different trajectory of just what we're creating together and what we're doing. And so it's a really powerful exercise. So have fun with this. Take time, set time aside so that you can really feel into this and just create your vision. And of course, if you want to email me at hello@jennifercovington.com and share your vision with me, I hold it sacred. And when you share it, you definitely put some jet fuel behind what you're creating. Okay, so step number 4, then, once you have your vision written out, mapped out, thought out, what I encourage you to do is create a visual representation of what you mused and dreamt up. Reason being is so that you can revisit this all throughout the year, and you will. So the old school fun way is to get a poster board and cut out different things in a magazine, and that's a great way to do it. I love doing that. That's a tactile way, and then you're putting your creativity into it, and then you can post it up and see it every day. This year, what we did was just find pictures online and then created collages within Canva. So I have a ton of pictures though. So I think I'm going to print them out and frame them. But when you do it digitally, you could make it your computer desktop, the picture on your desktop. So when you open your computer, you see it every day. You could print it out and frame it so that it's a really clean, nice picture that you can see every day. It's really up to you once you have it in digital form, and it's like a really clean, cool format. The other thing about going digital versus magazine is that you have the World Wide Web at your fingertips, so you can find any images that you want. A third way that I suggest that you do it, just depending on how you roll, is that you could either cut the pictures out of a magazine, or you could also print them out, but then put them in a spiral or put them in a book so that you're able to create just like a vision notebook that you can either carry in your bag with you. You can flip through when you do your morning meditations. And that's a really great way to carry your visions with you as well. What I will say about when you're creating these pictures, or when you're choosing these pictures, definitely, if say I just talked to a woman whose goal is to definitely find love this year. So if say you want to get married, you definitely can print out pictures of people, weddings and brides and that kind of thing. But also, I encourage you to pick pictures that evoke the feeling you want. Like, why do you want partnership, or why do you want to be married? What are also pictures that represent the feeling? So it could be, a toddler holding a kitten, because that you just feel the love and connection in that picture. So you could cut out a picture of a wedding, but then also the picture of the kitten and the toddler. And it doesn't mean you want a kitten or a toddler, but it's just the feeling that you want in the marriage and in the event and in the wedding and that kind of thing. That really makes for a really powerful vision board or vision journal or digital display, whatever you decide to do. That's a really great way to go about it. So for example, I tend to always have ocean, or a woman in a field, or a girl with balloons, because those all feel expansive and like freedom. And so I don't wish I had a bundle of balloons everywhere I go, but it evokes the feeling. Or I was sharing with this woman how I did a vision board for love and partnership, and the pictures weren't necessarily, definitely not of how I wanted my partner to look, but more about how I wanted to feel. So it would be couples, playing together, and couples embracing, and couples doing different things that I wanted to do that evoked the feeling. And, I'm happy to say now that that's definitely the relationship I have with my hubby wubs. So it definitely works. And I really encourage you to create your vision board that way. So those are just 4 simple steps that you can do to begin making this year your best year yet, because dreams do come true. Now, there's a couple of bonus tips that I want to give you as you go throughout your week. Okay, we don't need the party hat anymore. Okay, so the first bonus step that I want to share with you is, so you've dreamt and you were dreaming the impossible dream, and now you've put it on paper some kind of way, and worry will creep in, reality will creep in, pessimism or skepticism may creep in. So what you want to do is be really vigilant of your thoughts and of that worry, and catch it, and go to gratitude. That's what you're going to do when that happens. Think about what you're grateful for, what you do have. Maybe you go into celebrating your wins again, what is going right, because what happens is that's going to really chip away at the manifesting and the calling it in if you are worrying and being pessimistic and being cynical. Now, you don't necessarily have to run from that feeling. Maybe there's a clue there. Maybe there's a limiting belief there. Why is that skepticism and pessimism coming up? But you don't want to dwell there, and you definitely want to counteract it with some gratitude, which is always going to get you back to the place of possibility and wonderment and dreaming. And that's going to really bring in the things that are on your vision board to life. The other bonus that I have for you, which I kind of alluded to, is be vigilant of your thoughts and be vigilant of your words. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking in possibility? Are you thinking in positivity? Your words are such a clue, because you'll say something and you're like, oh, I guess I actually believe something else, So sometimes there's those hidden limiting beliefs, but your words will tell the story. So be very vigilant about your thoughts and your words. And then the last little bonus I have for you, it's like a manifestation tip, is to practice receiving, because now you've visualized and you have it in front of you. But a lot of times I find, again, with us ambitious women, is that we're very helpful and very loving to others, but we have trouble receiving. And so what I encourage you to do is practice receiving. If someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, you too. Oh my gosh, yes, you too. Because that kind of, they give it to you and then you bounce it right back and it kind of neutralizes it. Practice receiving. If someone says, I love that dress. Oh my gosh, your smile's so beautiful. Just say thank you. Practice receiving. I have to practice this all the time. It does not come naturally to me. Another example is if someone offers to help you with something, is your natural inclination to be like, no, I got it, or no, I can do it myself. Of course you can. But practice receiving if it feels right, and if it's no big deal, practice receiving support, because again, it's a feeling tone of being supported, being helped, receiving, right? And that's really what you want. When you have this thing on your vision board, you want it to flow into your life. The third way, that a way to look out for this, is to let people treat you. So if someone's like, oh, I'll cover your coffee, or yeah, I got dinner, let them. I know you want to say, no, I got it, or let's split it down the middle, but just let people treat you, because again, it's that receiving. And once you're getting into the flow of receiving, I know I don't have to worry about you giving and helping. You're always going to do that. So the only thing you really need to think about and practice is practice receiving. Okay, so those are your little bonus tips to hold you over until next week, when I start teaching you some really practical ways to bring what you visualize this week into fruition, because that is my specialty. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging me to show up more. I heard from my community, you want to see me more, you want to hear from me more. So if you're committed to showing up for this, I'm committed to showing up for you. So celebrate your wins, declutter, get your vision together, and shine on, sister.